Hey folks, so we're still in section 3.1 and I'd like to talk about dividing complex numbers. But in order to talk about dividing complex numbers, I need to first talk about conjugates. So the conjugate of my complex number a plus bi is going to be a minus bi. The real part stays the same, the imaginary part is the opposite sign. So when we're looking here at how to divide, these are the how-to steps for dividing complex numbers. So step number 1 says that you need to find the conjugate of the denominator. Well, here's my denominator, so I know that the conjugate of my denominator is going to be c minus di. Secondly, I need to multiply on top and bottom by that conjugate that I just got finished finding, this guy right here. So I'm going to multiply by on top c minus di and on bottom c minus di. Remember that the whole reason that this is legal is because that's just simply multiplying by the number 1. And then thirdly, you're going to simplify and write it in standard form and you'll be done. So let's take a look at example number 17. Number 17 starts with negative 7 divided by 3i. Remember that there's this rule that says you're not allowed to have square roots in the denominator. So even though you don't see any square roots, remember that I represents a square root. So you do have roots in the bottom. You have to get that out of the bottom for it to be in standard form. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to find the conjugate of the denominator, which is going to be a negative 3i, and I'm going to multiply that on top and on bottom, just the number 1. So next then I will multiply the two numerators together, and then I will multiply the two denominators together. So multiplying the numerators gives me a 21i, multiplying the denominators will give me a negative 9i squared. Next, let's go ahead and take that negative 9i squared and turn that into a positive 9 because I squared is negative 1. Once I have that, then I have 21 divided by positive 9. 21 divided by positive 9, we're not going to leave it like that. We're going to reduce our fraction. If I were to turn this into standard form, technically I would need to just simply say 7/3 plus 0i, but just leaving the real part alone is completely fine. You'll notice that I've placed here a YouTube video on Khan Academy that shows dividing complex numbers. If you're still struggling with dividing complex numbers, please go to this video. It will help you out.